Have you noticed that mom or dad have been spending a little bit more money than you are used to seeing? We've got some information to look for. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, Terry Maxiner here with Providence Solutions, and we are talking about a sensitive subject, and it has to do with elder abuse. So I have with me a guest who really is specializing in that, and that is Hannah. Hannah Martin is here with us, and we're going to talk about financial abuse. It's broadening. We hear about scams all the time. So Hannah, financial abuse. I know it's a big, huge term, meaning from someone calling up trying to get money from an elder to whatever. So what typical calls do you all get about financial abuse?
Yes, we see a lot of caregivers who are either taking money or, sometimes it's a bedbound senior where they do their grocery shopping and then all of a sudden, here's an extra $100 for me. Or family members who illegally execute a power of attorney. That's a pretty common one.
Okay.
So we see that quite a bit,
Yeah, and again, half the time that is probably intentional.
Exactly, yeah.
But with that financial piece, what does it look like? Is a bank calling you, or who's usually the whistleblower on that situation?
We do get a lot of banks that call in just with concerns about the account, weird transactions that are happening, weird joint account holders, but we also get family members that are concerned or anyone else that notices, hey, this person's got a lot of good things, but they don't necessarily have the income to support it. So how are they getting all those?
What's happening here?
Yeah, exactly.
How about the early trigger signs like new friendships?
Yes, definitely. If you see friendships with people or even relationships, we get a lot of relationships with much younger people that are being established that all of a sudden they're saying, oh, I'm supporting my friends or I'm supporting my girlfriend and they need this money for X, Y, and Z, and it's not always kosher.
Exactly. Well, yeah, because they have, their intent is to really get some money out of this older person.
Exactly.
And it is just amazing you said that, because I just recently worked on a case with an elder care attorney where it was a younger woman who actually had issues with drug abuse, and she befriended thousands of dollars. And it was just a very sad situation because it was so subtle at first, $20 here, $30 here, but when they put it all together, I mean, there ended up being thousands of dollars. So.
All of a sudden they need a car payment, they need and the person can't drive. I mean, it's things like that
Exactly.
you see a lot of.
And purchases that grandma and grandpa normally would never make.
Exactly.
So I think, as our audience always wants to know, is like myself, I'm a distant adult child. What kind of things should I be looking for?
I would look for expenditures that are beyond the normal. If an older adult all of a sudden can't pay their bills, I would kind of look at who's on their accounts to make sure that there's not someone on their account that shouldn't be, that kind of thing.
Super.
Who has access to their cards, debit cards, credit cards.
Yes, and whether or not any new ones were open.
Exactly.
Like any new lines of credit that were open. And I think that is so great because, again, working with a lot of families that have adult children that are not in the same state, do keep up on this. Find out what is happening. You might not be privy to bank financial information, but heck, call that bank. Start getting start getting awareness done. So if there is a situation and a number has to be called, Hannah, where do they call?
So they can call the Adult Protective Services 24-hour hotline. It's in Springfield with real people, which we love.
We love real people.
And the number is 1-866-800-1409.
That's great. Well, again, we gave you a lot of information here about financial abuse, and as much as we don't think it's happening, it's happening.
Oh yes, quite a bit.
And it does start out sometimes with a befriended person that normally has not been in that circle of that older person. So, again, just having those watchful eyes as we're watching out for our elder population that may need someone to advocate for them. Well, Hannah, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I really do appreciate that knowledge. I appreciate the awareness. It's just so important. If you have any questions, just like you're thinking about the subject, it might be of concern, please don't hesitate to give me a call, Terry at Providence Solutions, 708-342-8090. Website is always available for some great information. And you can contact me through the website, www.providencelifesolutions.com. So thank you so much for joining us today.